Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm really good.
Great. Let's see if we can change that.
I don't think you will.
You want to try me?
Aye, yeah, how are then?
Go on then.
Go on then.
All right. Will you read the pre-recording consent?
You've changed it.
Hey,
You've changed it now.
really?
No.
Are you okay to read that, or should I get Jade to do it?
No, I can do it.
Okay. Let's just hang on for a couple of seconds, and then we'll read it, and then.
I can't actually see it all. Is that it all where it ends with you consent to the recording?
Yeah.
Right.
It's actually a spelling mistake there. It says reording, but it should say recording.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, nobody does. One person noticed it. A school teacher from Kennedy Street noticed it. And when she pointed it out, I went into childhood shame.
I've got my dog staring, thinking, where's the voice coming from?
Hello, boy.
He's good. Get down.
Hello, boy. Come on, boy. Hello, boy.
He's at the screen. Who is it?
Cool. We got Daisy here. Wonderful. Hello, Daisy.
Hello.
Oh. Hello. You haven't been here for a while.
No, I haven't. I've got an hour break, so I thought I'd just pop in before the next call.
Okay, great.
How are we doing?
All right, that's good. We're good. All right, James, let's kick us off. Read the pre-recording consent.
Okay, before we begin recording, I want to make sure everyone is aware and comfortable. This session is being streamed and recorded as part of the UACT LERO's mission to build recovery capital and challenge stigma. Your personal safety and comfort comes first. If at any time you would like your contribution of the recording deleted, please say so and it will be removed without question. Please remember, take responsibility for what you share. This is an adult learning environment, not therapy, mutual aid or faith-based organisations. If you are happy to proceed, please give a verbal yes or use the chat to confirm you consent to the recording.
Verbal yes.
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 Yes, yes.
Yes. Great. Anita, is that you?
Annette, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Annette.
Who's
Well,
Anita?
close enough. I got the A right. Annette, build the container.
Oh, my life, David, what are you doing to me?
I'm loving you and supporting you. You're fantastic. Just say, let's start with a check-in, and then we go.
Right, guys, let's start today with a check-in.
Wonderful. Well done.
And I'll go to Jade to start it. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm checking in okay. Bit stressed. I feel like I'm falling behind with things. But yeah, I think I'll be fine. So yeah, checking in okay. Over to Daisy.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm looking forward to this session. I can't stay for the whole thing, so I've got a meeting, but I'm going to stay as long as I can. But yeah, I'm okay. I will pass over to James.
Yeah, I'm checking in okay. Been working from home again today, so I catched up with a lot of my caseload. Got off the panel meeting earlier in the day, so I had to jump on. Yeah, I'm checking in all right. My dog's been winding us up a bit today though, so been jumping out hours when I've been on goals and that. But other than that, I'm all right. I will pass it to Epic Restart Foundation. I don't actually know his name.
Sorry, I should have changed my name. It's Craig. I'm going to change it a second. But my name's Craig, and I'm checking in as excited. Yep, checking as excited. David.
David checking in. Nice to see you all. Yeah, very nice. It's February, so it feels like everyone's kind of back to work, and now we can carry on changing the world. And so I'm pleased about that. Jamie, good afternoon. Would you like to check in?
Yeah, I'm doing good. A bit tired, but one of them weeks. Yeah, I'm doing good. Trish has got meetings, so she is unable to join this session, by the way.
Great.
But yeah,
Back
I'm
to
good.
you, Annette.
I'm checking in good. I'm plodding on. I'm getting there slowly but surely. Things are looking a little bit brighter than they did a couple of weeks ago. Just engaging with the service and keeping myself right at the minute. So yeah, I'm checking in good.
It's wonderful to see you. Wonderful. And I want to say, I find this Thursday container to be a very brave container. It just seems to be like the courage of people's authenticity here is something that makes me incredibly proud to be a part of. I'm very grateful. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay, so just some housekeeping for Daisy. So Daisy, you and your crew are coming up to the Sober Companion training.
Yes.
Great. So I'm going to make a WhatsApp group called 167-RAW. I'm going to make you and Katie admins for it. And then I'm going to add that to a community.
Okay.
Just so we know which person's coming from which Lero or organization. and we part of the onboarding process is we had one WhatsApp group. We sent out a link and all sorts of people have come and joined. And there's a chaos there. And part of the process of bringing people on is then the onboarding process. Yep. So I thought we'd talk about onboarding today as an agenda for all of you in your various roles and organizations. But we can talk about anything else as well. However, poor onboarding brings the chaos of a culture of addiction into your organization, which is working in a culture of addiction, but the organization needs to be living in a culture of recovery and resilience. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this is a challenge that all people have, especially in the treatment space. And because a lot of people here are working out in communities with volunteers at prehabs at different various stages, yeah, it is a nightmare out there. So how's that for a topic? Does that work for you, Annette?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sounds interesting.
Yeah? Okay, good. All right, where should we go? Who wants to kick off?
Can I
I'll-
start, please?
Oh yeah, go.
Are you sure? Oh, thanks, Craig. You're a gent. So I've just been informed that I've got a new role, and that
Oh, great.
Thank great. And I won't be a community coach anymore. I'll be the coordinator for volunteers and ambassadors.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
like, I'll be coordinating them, and then with onboarding with the ambassadors, how would I? It's difficult to know when people are ready, because as you say, like the difference between a community that's full of chaos and then trying to create a culture of recovery, when people are so new in their recovery, how can I kind of know when they're ready or not? Does that make sense?
It makes complete sense. What a wonderful topic.
Because that's an onboarding process in itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how I'm going to navigate that yet. Because the entire time I've worked here, there's not been a volunteer and ambassador coordinator at Gateshead. So I don't even have the previous person to ask.
What a wonderful opportunity. So you can't fuck it up.
But maybe, or maybe all I can do is fuck it up. I don't know. It's yeah, it's concerning, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so let's start off. Is this a role that you want to do?
Yes, please. Thanks, Debbie.
I asked Jade if this was a role she wanted to do and she ran away.
No, I do, but that doesn't mean I'm not scared of it though.
Okay, but that's a big difference, huh? Here's a role that I want to do, but I'm scared of doing the role, as opposed to here's a role I don't want to do, yeah, but I've been stuck in this role and I don't want to be there.
No, it's not that I've been stuck in it. I do want to do it, but
Great.
I don't know what I'm getting myself into, I don't think.
Okay, great. So just before we go there, the basics are, the framework is we check in contract, we build a container, we ask questions, yeah, and we trust that the resource and the answers are in the container and they're going to come up. Yeah. So let's ask the container, yeah, if anyone's got experience of working with volunteers and coordinating them.
Oh, damn it.
I do. Ish. It's not my main role. Obviously, that's Katie's main role in our organisation, but the volunteers still, contact me and I still help out where I can. It's difficult coordinating volunteers because, they're not employees. They don't have to do anything. So there's a very fine line we found between encouraging them to take part and I don't want to say respecting their boundaries because we do respect their boundaries, but getting them to do things that we actually need them to do. Like, for example, this week we're running peer mentor training, plus we're doing something for public health research. So a number of our volunteers are busy in training, which means that our drop-ins aren't like our activities in the community are not necessarily going to be manned. And we're pushing people to try and get them to engage and, come out of their houses and deliver the activities. And that can be really difficult because they might not feel confident in doing that. And part of our job is to convince them that they are, whilst understanding that they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Katie says it's like herding cats, dealing with volunteers. Not that I'm trying to put you off your new job, but it is, it's difficult. It is.
Has anyone here in the container been a volunteer? Daisy, Craig?
Just for one day.
For one day.
British Heart Foundation.
Well, that's good. You go volunteer at Epic for one day and then they employ you. Wonderful.
I was a volunteer for a bit, not with Recovery Connections, with a 12-step rehab.
Okay. So what worked for you, James, and what didn't work for you?
So what worked for me was just following the lead person who was just showing us what to do, asking questions. I needed to ask questions because I didn't have a clue. You know, I was only I can't remember. I think I was like 10 months into recovery.
So you're an old timer. You're an old timer.
Well, I felt like, I don't know, I felt like, because when I went in that role, I felt like I was a newcomer. I didn't have a clue. I'd never done nothing like that. I've grew up in prison. I've never had a job, like, unless it's wing cleaner. Like, I've never done nothing like that. So I just need to ask as many questions as possible and just watch how they do it.
Okay. So the environment needs to be safe enough for people to be able to ask questions.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. And the environment needs to teach people by modeling what needs to be done.
Yeah, I need to be shown, not told.
Yep. Okay. Great. I agree with that completely. Yeah.
Because if I'm told how to do things, like, I haven't a clue, mate. So I'm just going one ear and out the other. But if I'm shown how things should be done, how things are done, then I can take that on board and I can start doing it myself.
Okay. So one of the good things to ask is to ask people what's the best way for them to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I've worked with volunteers. I've worked with sponsees. I've worked with sponsors. And I've made some fucking terrible mistakes. And the mistakes were, so when I was sponsoring people and I started a rehab, I thought that I needed to employ all my sponsees. Yeah. So then I pulled in my sponsees into a working environment, and our sponsor-sponsee relationship kind of continued. And it was difficult to separate from a professional role. Yeah. And so when it came to holding people accountable for their role, they would then throw back some sort of sponsor relationship stuff. It's like, oh, you're reminding me of my dad in my step 4. You know about how I get da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Do you know what I mean? So and Jade, this was many years ago, by the way. This is really what lived experience is about. So you've kind of lived it and gone through, because it's very, very chaotic, the environment. And the problem that I have with the industry, for want of a better word, is that just because someone's a volunteer doesn't mean they don't show up like a professional. I find people can be very manipulative and say, and not do what they're meant to do, because they'll just say, oh, well, I'm only volunteering, I don't care. I don't buy that shit. We're dealing with people's lives. If you don't want to volunteer, then don't. But there's so many people that are, and I am coming from the African context, yeah, which is a lot more, which is less resourced. But you get a lot of people that say they want to volunteer because it looks good for them. But when it actually comes down to doing the fucking work, yep, they don't show up and they let you down. Yep, you can see Daisy's got a knowing smile there. She's kind of going, oh yeah, fuck, I know what you're talking about, David. Yeah. So from a leadership perspective, yep, how are you at holding people accountable?
She is.
She is. Okay, good.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't even started in the role yet fully. I want to hold people accountable, but I'm so concerned that I'm going to become like a pest and a horrible person, and I don't want to be that.
Okay.
But then that comes down to how you project yourself, and you don't project yourself as that sort of person.
Not yet. Oh, God.
Not yet.
Oh, no, like I think I'm really passionate about it. I want everyone to do well. I want everything to go well and sort of move forward. And I'm just, yeah, I don't want to set myself up to fail either though.
So what's the path for a volunteer? They volunteer, they become ambassadors, and then maybe they get a job later.
Mhm.
Yeah. People volunteer and then they get supported training. They get training.
Yeah, and then the ambassadors is like a 12-week course and
Okay. Yep. And what else do they get?
nothing at the minute. That's what I'm trying to start, because obviously, as I say, it's been nearly a year since the last person who done this role left.
Okay. And why did that person leave?
Honestly,
No, I want you to lie to me.
I don't, well, oh God.
And don't say it if it's unsafe to say it. Just
No, there was hard feelings between a couple of people.
okay, so there was internal conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that happens in every organization. Yeah. Any company, any organization, you got people coming together. Yeah. So it's the same if you're a volunteer or whether you're a lecturer in a university, yeah, or whether you're a stockbroker in a bank, whether you're a nurse in a hospital, whether you're a school teacher, people come together and there's clashes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So a year ago, yep, the last coordinator left, and there was tension in the organization.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's normal. Okay. What was the learning as an organization from that?
I think they meant a lot about boundaries.
Great. Okay. So boundaries are going to keep coming up and up and up and up. Yeah. Daisy, may I speak about the horrific experience you guys went through at Raw?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shame she doesn't know what I'm going to talk about.
Which one?
Yeah, which one? Yeah. Okay. Where you lost someone, one of your community members died. Yep. And that's one of the realities of this. You know, people come in, they volunteer, and then they pass away for whatever reason. And I know this has happened at Raw, it's happened at Recovery Connections, this stuff happens. In fact, people die in every organization because that's kind of what happens with life. Yeah. But what we got to make sure is that the safety of ourselves and the volunteers is a top priority. Yeah. So you don't want to send a volunteer out to go and help someone when they're not stable themselves. Makes it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's all sorts of kind of safeguarding policies and processes and procedures there that you can refer to.
Mhm.
Is this helpful, Jade? No.
Feeling a bit nervous.
Nervous.
Although it's like the manager's on holiday at the minute, so nothing's happened yet. But I am nervous for Monday when she gets back, and we're sort of start trying to change me from one role to another.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to hurt cats.
Okay. Well,
Tough shit.
Yeah, I'm looking for vocabulary that's I was going to say something like, well, if you don't want to work with cats, you shouldn't become a vet.
Oh God.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think you can do the job?
I want to be able to do the job.
Yeah, I have no doubt you can do the job.
Yeah. I know she'll be able to do it and she'll do it well.
Yeah, okay. So there's that. You are unconsciously competent at the moment.
Okay.
That means you don't know that you can do the job, but your colleague next to you has no doubt that you can do the job. Does that make sense? It's in Annette's conscious competence. Yeah, she can see my colleague can definitely do this. What's that, Jamie?
I was just saying, rather than people while people were talking, and that just the fact that because
Jump in, mate.
just the fact that, like, obviously if you're nervous for something, then it obviously shows that you've got a lot of care around that subject matter. And obviously with volunteering, and whether that's either with volunteers itself or with you into the whole process, it's going to be just as scary for them as it is for you. And I think because you've got that worry there, it just shows that you're passionate about it and you want to help them to the best ability that you possibly can. But it's human to be worried. I'll get worried about calling someone for the first time or for the fifth time.
No, so I
It's
spoke to him and he said this
just
is
because
the
we can.
nightmare of a travel. He doesn't
I
drive.
don't know. Yeah.
So if you like getting the bus from
Who's getting the bus?
Two different meetings at once.
Oh, okay. All right. Are your volunteers supported with things like stipends, travel, lunch, things like that? Annette?
Yeah, admin like has a sort of fund for everything, and then you get like all your forms that you fill in and reimbursements and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. And how might filling in forms impact your volunteers?
I've not thought about it. I think everyone's confident and
We-
capable. But
Yeah, we all seem to fill in our own timesheets, travel expenses, lunch expenses, and then just pass them on to admin. So it's pretty straightforward.
I would imagine if someone wasn't confident with their reading and writing abilities, though, they would feel like they could tell somebody
Yeah.
if they needed a hand filling it in. I would like to think they would be able to tell us. It's not.
How long does it usually take for them to get their expenses back?
That depends. But usually within a day or two.
Okay. I only ask because we find that lots of people can't necessarily go and do something unless you pay them, say, for their train ticket first. Or, I've got people that as soon as they do something, I need that money back urgently. And that can be a barrier for them to engage because they're not financially able to.
Yeah.
Wonderful catch there, Daisy. I'm sure Epic Restart's got all sorts of money that they don't have that problem down there.
I'll come to that later.
Okay. Annette, are you a volunteer, did you say?
Ambassador, yeah.
So you've been a volunteer and now you're an ambassador.
Yeah.
Okay. So what worked for you in your onboarding process and the coordination? Or what didn't work?
I found that when I first done my ambassador role, a lot of guidance. And because I was still struggling a little bit myself with mental health. I needed like pushing into doing things. And I wasn't really open into doing courses or things like that. But now I'll jump into anything I can. A certificate's a certificate, isn't it? At the end of the day.
So it took a while for you to get motivated.
Yeah. But I
Okay.
think that was because the person who was in the role Jade's taken had so many ambassadors on board at the time, she couldn't get around everyone.
Okay.
So, but when she did get round us, it was good. We just went away. If we said we wanted to do a course or anything that was coming up to represent Recovery Connections, I just jump in it now.
So that's a bit like caseloads.
Yeah.
Somebody has too many caseloads, they can't. All right. So what's the how many volunteers are you going to be coordinating, Jade?
At the minute about 10.
10. Okay. So that's sort of manageable, yeah.
Me current caseload's 30.
Pardon?
Me current caseload's 30 and I talk to all of them every week. So I feel like it's manageable. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're most probably going to think, well, what the fuck am I going to do with the rest of my day then?
I mean, I hope not. I would like to think I could do things, but yeah, it's going to be a difference.
So one of the psychological challenges for people when they move in organizations, particularly chaotic environments, a lot of their personal status is attached to that role. So, for example, people who are in IT support roles and they run around fixing people's computer problems and they become technically the best person at fixing the computer and they can get things working again. Yep. People think, well, let's make that technician a manager because he's got all the knowledge and everything, or they've got all the knowledge. Yep. And so they must make good management material. They put the person in management. Yep. And the person can't adjust to not being in the chaos anymore and doesn't delegate. Yep. So the problems come, they try and manage, but they feel comfortable fixing. Yep. So then they fail because they're unable to sit with not doing the chaos. Yeah. So if you're moving from a caseload of 30 people and you're meeting them every week and all that, and now you're going to, right, now going to manage 10 volunteers, yeah, there's going to be a different environment that might have an impact. Does that make sense?
I'd like to think it would be positive though. I think I'll
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like a good managing director sits at his desk all day and is bored because he's managing everything, it's working. Yeah, it's when things go wrong. If you've got a busy managing director, that organization is unhealthy. You know, you need a managing director that's kind of like, oh God, I've got to listen to his boring shit now. Can I not just, because they're bored and restless. It makes sense. Yes, Craig.
I was just going to ask if you get case management or supervision, just in case your caseload did ever get too much. Like, do you get a chance to speak to someone?
This is it.
Yes. Do you know, it's funny that you should bring this conversation to because before Christmas I got a promotion. So like I'm now lead recovery coach. And through that, like I look after 2 members of staff and I do all the onboarding from the moment that people get referred in. And And one of the questions on the interview was, on the onboarding process, what things would you do differently? And from that, I've implemented a strategy or a plan where we're able to tick a couple of boxes and keep track of who comes in. And I think one of the key things that I learned from doing the calls is that we have to listen to the individual that's coming through. You know, whether that's do they have a preference of gender of coach? Do they have a preferred time that we try and see them? Do we have a preferred day? What's their method of contact? Because then at least if I've inputted all that information and a coach logs onto their profile, they can see such and such wants an email first, then a phone call, and at least they'll think this organization listens to me. Because if I've put email and then someone phones, and do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this onboard process for me is really, it's been an important part of my job. And I feel like we're doing a really good job of it. But as for onboarding staff, I totally get it. Is it Jade? I find it quite difficult telling people, but I guess it's a bit like what James said. I try and show people. So, like, say for instance, we use different systems. I'll log in, I'll share my screen, I'll say this is how I do it. Obviously, you don't have to do it this way. This is the easiest way I've found. You'll find your own way. I'll show them about how to maybe send emails. I'll show them how to input notes, because I know what it's like to be the new person. So I think just making sure I tell them, I'll always say thank you as well. And I know it sounds daft, but I always say either thank you for your help or just thank you for turning up. And I think those little things can go a long way. I delegate my calls if I'm busy, because I do group coaching. I've got a caseload of people, and now I do these initial calls. So if I'm busy, I'll just put in the chat, can anyone take a call today? Because, you know, I've got sessions booked, and it's getting easier, because I used to have back-to-back sessions and then go to sleep, do it again. And I'm like, where's the self-care for Craig? So this year has been a real change. You know, like I'd like to think that I've put this project probably in place myself, and everyone's jumped on board and got on with it. So a lot of good things have come from last year's learnings, shall I say. Me.
Thanks, Greg.
No worries.
What wisdom? Jamie?
Yeah, I was just finding myself agreeing to the majority of that. So I was initially a volunteer, then ambassador, then, well, now working within the organization. And, you know, I've not long gotten a caseload of people, but as you were saying, with like just thanking them for coming in and that, like, I've done that just as I don't know, just a second nature thing anyway. But like you can see in the faces, like, you know, with some people it takes a lot just to get up and out of bed in the morning, let alone up into the town, getting up out of bed, dressed, eat something, come in for a meeting, and just for them to know that you appreciate them coming in, I think is the most important thing, because it's validating them that they have, you know, made an effort to be where they are. I don't know, I'm just in quite a mad headspace myself at the minute. Not so much work-wise, but I'm looking into doing different courses and stuff, like debating do I go to uni, do or not. But that's just a whole other issue.
Okay, so before everyone passes out, I want to change the topic a bit. Yeah, and I just want to kind of show you guys where you are. Can you all see the picture?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So ambassadors kind of come in here, sober companion. This is our kind of training path. This is the sort of training path that you guys have coming along. Yep. Then you go and do peer recovery specialist, you do the 3-day training. And where we are now is we're doing the systemic wellness practitioner. Yep. And the systemic wellness practitioner, you start to get to look at the whole system. Yep. So bringing on volunteers in that process, whatever the whole system does, that part of it must, the wisdom from that must be included in that. Does that make sense to everyone? Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I'm reading. Reading all the little bits.
You're reading. I'll post this out to you guys if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah?
Mhm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. But it's just like a roadmap. Yeah, and I think if you show volunteers what their roadmap is, I think Recovery Connections calls it the VAG, Volunteer Ambassador Job.
Oh,
I'm just repeating what you lot have said. It's like it's done. It's
I might need to change that. That sounds gross. Oh, yeah.
so. Yeah, so there's a path for people to go along. There's the theory stuff that people need to know. Yep, and then there's the practical stuff of doing it. And your job as a coordinator is to support them in doing that while they are supporting the people that your organization supports. Make sense?
Supporting the supporters. Yeah.
Yeah, generally it's like it's an internal thing that you're doing here.
Mhm.
Yep. It's yeah, and when it goes wrong there, it impacts the whole organization. Which days you'll be able to bring testimony to, and which Craig will. It's just the kind of the nature of this. Okay, so James, let's go to you in the prehab space.
Yeah.
How's the world treating you where you are?
Yeah, pretty well actually. Obviously I do a few different things. It's not just the help with people getting into rehab. I do a few different things. So I don't work in a prehab.
So this is me keeping quiet to give you the opportunity to talk more.
So obviously I work with community members who want to get into rehab. So then I'll do one-to-one sessions with them, giving them all the information on rehab, what to expect going into rehab, and then we do a readiness tour with them. And then
And
obviously,
are you in a paid role?
yes,
Yeah, okay. All right. And were you a volunteer with Recovery Connections first?
no,
No. Okay. So you came in and you were employed.
yes,
Okay. All right. So you weren't trained internally, you were trained externally and you came into the organization.
yeah.
Okay. What was that onboarding experience like?
So it was like when I started in the rehab, it was all new, a whole different way of delivering things, and it was the same. So I had to start asking questions, learning again. But I fitted in quite quickly because my role is getting people into rehab, and I've worked in a rehab. I've went through a rehab myself, so it was pretty. I fitted in quite quickly into it. I could give my experience on rehab.
Okay. And what did they do well?
So it was my manager. She actually my manager actually took time, sat with us, showed us what I needed to be doing. And she still does today. She still takes her time to show me how things should be done. I'm still, all the computer stuff, I'm still learning through that. I've took to it quite quickly, but she sits and takes the time for us, which I'm very grateful to her for that. She's fitting us into different things where I've been through. So obviously I start in the prison soon, 2 days a week, delivering the recovery wellness program, the recovery capital to them, which I have experience in that. With being in prison, and she's just putting us in things where I have my experience and where I feel comfortable in.
Any questions? And then I think we're going to take an early break.
Just wondering, how hard is it to get into the prison to be able to like have access to things like that?
It's quite hard. So we're just waiting to hear back from the governor. And me and another manager's going in. We've got 3 months to try and make a difference in there to deliver this program, and then we get a permanent contract for Recovery Connections in that prison. So I think there's a couple of organisations going in. So it's quite difficult actually to get into them. I mean, Recovery Connections is in a couple of prisons anyways, but not this one. So
I was going to say, go steal a car and drive it into a police station.
You probably wouldn't go to prison for that these days.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask, this is probably just a general question for everyone, but like, is there anything that you would change from your onboarding process?
Yes.
Anything that you would do differently?
Go, Daisy, tell us.
Oh, I didn't really have a onboarding at all. It was, this is your job now. Good luck. And that was it. So any kind of guidance or structure or plan would have been lovely. I think I was working for like 4 months before I got a job description. So, anything would have been better. So, yeah. Yeah. I think even now, like, we've definitely gotten better, but when I joined originally as a volunteer, it was like, okay, you've done your DBS, you've done your e-learning, now you're a volunteer. And then it was like, well, we have a drop-in we only had like 2 drop-ins when I started. And it was like, we have one in Canterbury and one in Folkestone. If you want to go, you can go. And then that was it, So there really wasn't any kind of guidance or engagement or a clear path to kind of follow. And that it left me for months kind of volunteering, but doing absolutely nothing. And, I was determined to volunteer. If I wasn't, I would have just left.
Yeah.
You sound pissed off about that, about your experience.
Not pissed off, but frustrated.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, don't say, I'm not angry, I'm disappointed.
Well, no, but I think
it is frustrating, huh?
Yeah,
it's
we were very young.
disrespectful.
Yeah, we were very young as an organisation there, and there wasn't like any kind of real structure. And structure is needed when it comes to business for things to work properly.
Well, structure is needed for people in recovery, I'll tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people's therapeutic process is from going into a structure. So and James will tell you that, coming from a very structured holding environment and then coming into the outside world is very unsettling. Yeah. and it's a big thing in rehab when people come into rehab, is to make sure they stick with the program and the structure, because it brings that safety around that. The patients always kick off against it. Oh, I don't want to go to bed now, and I don't want to eat them. Where's my cell phone? They behave like overgrown children. But the reason for that is they often come from environments that never had the structure and the chaos there. So it's really important to have a structure therapeutically, recovery. Yep. That's why it's important that, like, those of you that go to 12-step meetings start on time, and they go through the preambles and they do this and that, and they end with the seventh tradition, and it's a kind of the same wherever it goes. Yeah. And Daisy, yes, the organization was young and starting. Yep. And and we can be forgiving for that, and we should be forgiving, because it wasn't done vindictively, it wasn't kind of planned like that, but that's just the nature of the environment at that time. And the consequence was is you were left feeling fucking frustrated. Your time is valuable for you. Yep, you were showing up and you were just at a DBS online training, and then, well, you can go there or not go there if you want. So that feels disrespected and undervalued. And the reason why I want to focus on this is so Jade gets an idea of, like, oh fuck, I better not do that, because otherwise I'm going to be dealing with pissed off daisies. Does that make sense? This is how we capture the wisdom here. And it's not about blaming, It's Raw was where it was at the time, or Forward Trust, or whatever the setup was when you started. But it's also to remember what it was like when you were a newcomer, yeah, and what could be better. Oh, that got me quite excited.
We've now got like a standard operating procedure for onboarding process. So as in for onboarding new members of staff, and it covers everything from doing the training of inputting of notes to how they link that Outlook, making sure they've got a phone. So like I feel like there has been probably learnings in that respect as well, like making sure every avenue is covered, because it's always easy to forget when you're invested in your caseload and your work. But actually, these new people are coming in, they need your time as much as the other people to synchronize, So, I hear it, it sounds like it was a difficult time, but at the same time, there's probably been learnings from that moment. So,
Oh yeah, I mean it's not anything like it was back
yeah.
then. I've been with Raw for 2 years now, so things have changed drastically. We definitely have a lot more structure when we onboard volunteers now. They're paired up with a lead in their area, and they're offered opportunities, and they're guided, and they kind of buddy up together for the first 3 months. So there's definitely a lot more guidance now. And I just onboarded a new employee, and he has, well, even before we started, he had clear kind of remit. We spent the whole first day together going through what his role was, what his targets might be, what he's working towards. So things have definitely changed. So that's good, and I think they'll keep changing as we come across more holes in it, because there's always going to be, it's not going to work for everyone. And when we come across someone that it's not necessarily working for, we can flex it so it is working for them, and kind of take the learning from that. But yeah, used to be a bit messy.
And Craig, you must remember where Epic was 3 years ago. Yeah, when it was
100%.
that's
Mhm.
it takes time for organizations to put the professional processes in place, and often there aren't funds for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes it is just like, fuck, we've got to make do with what we got. All right, well, let's take a 10-minute break. I'm actually busting for a pee here as well. So let's come
David,
back at 5 past.
I'm going to love you and leave you because I've got a call at 3.
Okay, mate. How are you checking out?
Checking out. Just glad that I came on. I think it's a really important topic. Jade, I wish you all the best. I think what the final thing I would say is maybe I always say this to people in like when I'm doing group coaching, but take what you need like a buffet. There'll be things that you hear and things that you maybe not relevant to your job, but take what you love, take what's relevant to you, and utilize it. I'm sure you'll smash it.
Oh, thank you. That's really
No
helpful.
worries. See you in a bit.
Right.
David, I've got to jump off now. I've got some calls to make.
You got to jump off. He's got to jump off. Daisy, you got to jump off.
I can be here until 1:30, and then I got to go.
All right. Well, we'll finish class today at 1:30. Yeah. So go. Yeah, there's a net going. Oh, thank fuck for that, because I can hardly keep my eyes open. All right, let's come back at 5 past. Yeah, and then we'll go for 25 minutes.
I'll see you next week.
See you later.
Bye.
Okay, should we kick off? Okay, the last 25 minutes, we've gone over the mountain. We're just going to take a nice descent and we're going to arrive in the town half an hour early. Okay, do you think it's okay to finish early if the container's feeling tired and fatigued?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're just meeting people's needs, aren't you?
But you said you'd go till 4 o'clock.
Mm.
So I think in this space, it's really important if the participants are just fatigued and that it's that what's the point of sitting around doing something and trying to extract stuff when everyone's clearly just exhausted. Oh God, should we finish now? All right, come on. Bring a juicy topic. David checking in a bit anxious around the energy of the container, and I've got a false sense of responsibility. I'll tag Jamie.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I think when it comes to people being fatigued and stuff like that, it's more a case of you're not gonna, well, one, you're not gonna take in the information that's being spoke about. And if you do take it, it's not gonna retain inside. It's just kind of, you're just listening, you're not hearing what's being said, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, so at the minute I'm looking, do I actually want to do a part-time course at uni or not, alongside working in psychology and philosophy and that. But it's kind of like a 50-50 course because they both, interest me in that, but I'm not academic in the slightest. So I'm like, do I go for it or do I just learn it as I go? I don't know. I'm a bit.
I
Can't
get
remember myself in
totally where you're coming from. I'm in the same situation at the minute where I'm like, I want to apply for a job, but am I capable of doing that job?
Hmm.
And then people say, but you're an ambassador, you do a lot of what you would do in the job role, but it's just having that big responsibility on your shoulders that puts me off.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think so. I don't think.
Are we still checking in, or are we just going for it? I can't remember.
I think we've just went for it.
We just went for it. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. No, don't. Sorry. Okay. So if that's where we're at, so what is the topic? Should I continue my studies? There's part of me that's holding myself back because I don't want to fuck it up if I go forward and further my career because of the responsibilities. Yep, and I saw Daisy kind of nodding there with resonance.
I've been considering a similar thing actually. I had a meeting with a university in London last week to do a master's in charity leadership and management, and I don't know if I should do it or not. Yeah, because same, it would be working alongside my job, and I was working at 4 o'clock in the morning the other day, and I just think, do I actually have the capacity to do this?
Mhm.
And do I really want to do it? Or am I doing it because of my ego wants to have a masters? Do I need the masters, or do I just want it? Because then I can say that I've got one. You
Is
know?
that a bad thing? To do something just because you want it?
But then I think the problem
um,
in my head is, do I want to do it because I want to learn, or do I want to do it just for the kind of end result,
Oh, like the title.
having it? Yeah,
But yeah.
And
Okay.
what about both?
Mm.
yeah.
So I get that a lot personally. So in fact, something that I'm struggling with at the moment is like I'm driven by a wound of not getting a piece of paper and being looked over for many years because I didn't have the piece of paper. And then when I got into the environment to get a piece of paper for the master's stuff, I sat there and I just thought, what the fuck? These people here are stupid. And then my arrogance went to the other level, yeah, to the other side of it. Yeah. What I do know is I love learning. Yep. And what I do know is I still want to be desperately seen. And I do know that I still feel unseen a lot, and that hurts. But I also know that if I was seen, it's not going to last because I'm going to want to be seen at the next one and the next one and the next one. So, but I get it. I get it. So I want to be seen, I want to be recognized, and I want to be valued. Yep.
Yeah.
And talking to you guys now, I realize that I should be able to do that within myself as opposed to having other people do it. And there's something wrong in my psyche because when other people tell me that, I don't see it. Yeah, it's a bit like Annette and Jade. Jade's sitting there anxious, oh my God, am I going to do that? And Annette's sitting there thinking, what the fuck? Of course you can do this. Are you mad? Like, fuck. Does that make sense? So the same psychological patterns playing out, but the role players and the outcome and the plot of the story is slightly different. Yeah. So Daisy's off to London to get a master's at a London university. Like, fuck, that's fantastic. But if it's not going to help her in a job, yeah, what's the point of doing it? And then the other thing is, what are you doing at 4 o'clock in the morning, working? like, if it's going to help you with that. But I'll tell you, society will benefit if you did do that. And you're in a great opportunity to learn that, to do something with that. Jamie, what would you get out of philosophy and psychology?
Well, being able to actually like do a lot better critical thinking for starters and understand both my own mind plus the community members that I'm helping and just society in general. There's more of an understanding about them. And instead of just, I don't know, someone saying a question about something whether that is addiction recovery based or not, and instead of me thinking, well, I don't know, and not even just actually asking the question why, if that makes sense. Like,
Who's your favorite philosopher at the moment?
at the moment, David Hume.
What's his thing?
So his is a lot. Well, the one that I'm reading at the minute is the meaning or meaningful. I've got it written down on here. I know what I'm reading. I don't know the book name because I've got loads just lined up there. So there's like two that I'm reading at the minute. One of which is more psychological. The other one is more philosophical even. The David Hume one is an inquiry concerning human understanding, which again is on the more, it's kind of mixed the two into one. And the other book I'm reading is by Oliver Sacks called The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat, which that focuses on like right hemisphere neurological diseases. And that just because someone has an issue with neurologically doesn't make them any less of a person. Or like it's not a case that they can't perceive the world, it's the fact that they just perceive the world in a new way, which we aren't aware of. And so it's being open-minded and looking at the reasons as to why that is and how people in the society around them can help support that person in whatever way is needed.
And what's driving that?
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
So for me in my work, yeah, well,
Mhm.
I'm driven by a father wound.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I wanted to be seen by my father, who was also alcoholic, and there's a little kid in me that just wants a sober dad. That's the wound. And that wound played out in the rehab that I was running. Yeah. And it was only when I went off to understand that wound was I able to drive the business in a healthier way.
Mhm.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
So we're driven often by wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what drives your?
I think mainly is because when I was in school, the actual learning and work part of it, I just wasn't bothered at the time, whether it was due to drugs, relationships, outside reasonings that realistically at that time shouldn't have mattered, but mattered more to me then. Same with college, I just scraped by. And then I never went to uni initially because I thought, well, I'm not smart enough
Yep, I've also
and
got
that I'm
that
not
being
academic.
dyslexic and neurodivergent.
Mm,
It's like my learning style is different.
yeah.
Yep.
And then it's only been like a couple of months really that I've been looking into like both sides of this, whether philosophy or psychology. And there was one like quote, I can't remember who it was by, but it was like intelligence doesn't define someone, knowledge does.
Okay.
Which I think that's just, I don't know, it's just stuck with me. Because anyone can say they're smart, but really what is smart? It's subjective. Like your model with people going to school, college, university, masters, and then people learning through society, like through addiction, through recovery. It's a different kind of smart.
You speak my language. I just want to jump in there and say, come on, for fuck's sakes, go and study. Bring the philosophy, bring the psychology.
Yeah.
I mean, you're neurodivergent, yes? And
I mean,
non-binary, if I remember correctly.
correct for definite with the second part. The first part, I'm still finding whether I am or not. I mean, I think I am because I don't think like other people, and other people have said they think that I am.
Okay, so first of all, I just kind of outed you in a way there. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm openly honest about it.
Yeah, okay. So I just want to, because I really want to be respectful. Yeah, and
Yeah.
my enthusiasm to be respectful and to kind of bring this to the world unintentionally might impact you negatively.
Oh no, no.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah, I'm not
I
bothered by
just
that.
want to double check that.
Yeah. No, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, okay. All right. And then my agenda, yeah, is for you to kind of go off and be brilliant and to, go out
Yeah.
into the world and bring a lot of love to the world. That's
Yeah.
my agenda. It's my agenda with Daisy too. When she says, I don't know whether I should go to, I've made it about me
Mm.
and my projection. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which isn't good coaching. It might be good for systemic wellness practitioners, because Daisy, in her role as a director of a lived experience organization, if she went off and did some continued academic work and got a recognition as a master who did the dissertation on running a charity, people are going to step back and go, fuck, these junkies know what they're doing. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, it's a weird one, right? Because I would be like, oh yeah, you should 100% go for that masters, but then inside I'm like, nah, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the capacity or the academic knowledge, if that's what it's called. I don't know. I'm not good with words.
Mm.
Jade, and then what do you two think? What do you feel?
I don't know. I'm like that myself. I think I've just got one side of me thinks, yeah, I've got the ability to do it, and then the other's like self-doubting constantly. I think I need personally to work on that myself. And then obviously situations that have happened the last 2 months have like sort of knocked me back as well. So
Well, I mean, you've been through a fucking hectic life event.
oh no.
Yeah, do you know, I mean, the fact that you're here on this call and just fucking showing up in of itself is pretty impressive.
But what's happened has made me more determined to go into this field now,
Good.
where I was like umming and ahhing whether I really wanted a job. Would it be worth me having one? Would I be financially better off or not? But now I just think bollocks to it. I'm gonna do it.
Do you see how her energy's starting to change now? Do you see how like she was like falling asleep and now she's going, bollocks, I'm gonna go for it now. And I go, yeah. So what's happening for you, Annette, is you're starting to realize this is my vocation now. This is something that I was like born to do, and my life events have affirmed that even more.
Yeah.
You don't need like academic paperwork for you to do it. It's like bollocks, I'm going to do this anyway.
Yeah. I think as well, I've got a better understanding now, obviously going through addiction myself and then seeing Richard go through the addiction and the self-harming and then obviously passing away. I sort of see it from both sides now. So I feel like I'd be able to relate to someone a lot more than just me going through the addiction.
Well, not only will you be able to relate to them, but you'll be able to use your lived experience professionally in a way that will support them in their journey to recovery.
Yeah.
In a professional, boundarized way. Right, well, we've run out of time. You see, just now it started to get exciting and we said we'd close it early. Now it's just getting juicy. Jade, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I have read everything that Oliver Sacks has ever written. I love Alex Bowes. I think you should read him. I think you should read Richard Wiseman. I'm going to give you the longest book list in the world, Jamie, and expect a big email later because my first degree was in psychology.
Oh wow.
I'd done my degree in psychology when I was suffering really bad with my mental health. And I think I wanted to learn about the mind because I wanted to learn about me. And then I've implemented it in other ways. But yeah, I think you should 100%. And we should maybe meet up in Sunderland sometime and have a coffee, and I'll bring a bin liner of books with us.
Yeah, sounds
What's happened to Jade's voice?
What do you mean?
I just want to ask Jamie and Daisy.
The microphone went funny.
No.
she's gotten passionate
You were
about
full of
something.
passion. Yeah.
Passionate, strong, powerful.
Hmm.
Whereas in the beginning, it's like, oh, I don't know if I can look after the volunteers. I don't feel good enough. And now we hear like, Jesus, fuck, when I was in first year psychology, I did this and I did this, and you must read this and you must do that. And I'm going to bring you a bin bag full of books, and I expect this and I expect that. Like, the energy is completely different.
There's the delegation that you need,
Oh, yes. Okay.
as you've
Does
just
that make
said to me to
sense?
do that.
Mhm.
I mean, if anything, I would say Jade was overqualified for the job.
Yeah.
If I could like just give everyone a book, I think I would be capable because I have hundreds at home.
Have you ever thought of becoming a librarian?
I wouldn't be capable because I would get annoyed and I wouldn't be able to let them leave. I would want to hold them for myself.
Self-librarian.
All right, Jamie, you want to check out?
Yeah. Feeling positive. Still debating, but there's a more likelihood of me clicking apply. I don't need more books at the minute. I've got 8 sat there.
Fair enough.
From Oliver Sacks to Viktor Frankl to Jonathan Hyde to metaphysics and Plato.
Bloody hell.
So yeah, I'm booked up and I haven't read in 8 years until about 3 days ago. But other than that, I'm good.
Daisy, you want to check out?
Yeah. I also did my undergraduate in psychology, and I 100% think you should do it. You know, the way you speak about it, and you're taking your own time to read these books, and you want the knowledge, do it. It's, and I did my undergraduate while I was still high as a kite half the time, so you'll be fine, honestly.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling fine, feeling good. I'm gonna go and be coached now in a second. So yeah, it's all good.
Annette?
I'm checking out good. This was my last session I had to do with you, but I'm sorry, I'm coming back next week as well.
Great.
So yeah, as long as it's all right with you, I'm going to continue coming back because I really
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Please, we won that.
So yeah, I'm checking out really good. About to look after my own health, and I've got a doctor's appointment coming. So I'm gonna have to shoot off. But yeah, checking out really good.
Great.
And I'll see you next week.
All right, love. Jade, did you check out? I can't remember if there was. No, okay. You want to check out?
Yeah, checking out really good. So when we had a break, I wrote a list of everything that people said. So I've already got like things that I want to change about onboarding of ambassadors and volunteers and things like that. Yeah, all positive. Considering I've avoided this for months as well. Sorry, David. You know though.
Great. So I check out feeling like the energy has really picked up in the last half an hour. The first hour was like, oh, fucking hell, wow, this is going to be, yeah.
I feel like that was my fault. Sorry about that.
No, do not do that.
I'm in a bit grim.
Huh? No, not at all. Don't take that on. But it is the nature of the container at times. Yeah, and part of the training is to kind of read it and then spice things up and to also just bust it. Just say, this is what's going on, where are we going? So it sounds like everyone's going to university.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to a physical one.
Oh, was it
Because-
Open University?
Yeah.
I did mine at Open.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Right, well, I'm inspired now.
Oh,
From
God.
March 18th, I will be applied onto it.
Have you
Apply.
heard oh, sorry, Daisy.
No, go ahead.
Have you heard of Skeptics in the Pub, Jamie? Oh, so it's a philosophical society that meets in Newcastle once a month. I don't know how comfortable you'd feel meeting in a pub, but they meet up
so-
and they talk about a notion or a topic or whatever and debate it for like 2 hours solid.
That sounds mint.
Oh, it's crackers. But yeah, there you go. You should come because it's sometimes interesting and sometimes very chaotic, but so are we.
Well, yeah, we work within chaos.
Right,
Bye-bye,
I've really got
everyone.
to go. Bye.
See you next week. Bye.